Hello students, good morning. Welcome to part 1 video of our chapter number 4, that is sorting materials into group. Sorting materials into groups means to make groups of materials of same kind or same size or same use, whatever, right? To sort it out into groups. So in this chapter we will see which types of groups can be made based on which type of qualities, right? Then what is the usefulness of making groups, right? This we'll see in this chapter. Objects around us. First topic is objects around us. We have seen that our food and clothes have so much variety in them. Now, just food and clothes, there is such a vast variety of objects everywhere, right? There are variety of objects not only in our food and clothes, but the things in our house we can see there are variety of objects, right? We see around us a chair, a bullock cart, a cycle, then books, clothes, utensils, water, many things. So all these objects have different shapes, colors and uses. Look around and identify objects that are round in shape. You can identify the round objects and you can make one group. Our list may include a rubber ball, a football, a marble, then from utensils, a plate. This all are round. So if we include objects that are nearly round, our list could also include apple, orange, right? Then our earthen pot from which we drink water. Suppose we are looking for objects that are edible. So you can make groups based on its uses, on its color, on its shape, right? On anything you can make. Now we say that all the items which are edible means which we can eat. We might include all the items that we have listed in table 1.1, 1.2 and 1.3 in chapter number 1. What was there in chapter number 1, 1.1? What we have written? What we have written in tables? What do we eat? Then food items and their ingredients. Then items with their sources. This we have written in table 1.1, 2 and 3 of chapter number 1. So these are all edible items. We might also find that some of those round shaped objects we just listed out are also in this group. Let us say we wish to make a group of objects that are made up of plastic. Now the group of objects which are made up of plastic, then also the list is very long. So there are so many ways to group objects, right? In the above examples, we have grouped objects on the basis of the shape or materials they are made from. So there are many ways in which you can group out the materials. Activity 1. Let us collect as many objects as possible from around us. Each of us could get some everyday objects from home, and we could also collect some objects from the classroom or from the outside the school. Then what will be there in our collection? From the classroom you can get chalk, duster, right? Then pencil, notebook, rubber. From home you can take anything you want. We can also list objects that we can think of but cannot bring to the classroom, like trees, door, right? road. You can list out anything. Now separate all objects from this collection that are made from paper or wood. This is one group which you can classify. Either they are made from paper or wood or any others, right? So you can get paper and wood. Now one group has the objects that are made from paper or wood, while other group has the objects that are not made of these materials, right? So similarly, we could separate the things that are used for preparing food. Things which are used to prepare food and which are not used. This is another way of grouping the materials, right? Let us be a little more systematic. List all objects collected in 4.1. Try to identify the materials that each one is made of. What you have to do? The things you are writing, you have to write from which material they are made of. You can list 10 things and you can write the materials they are made of, right? You can list this much of 10 materials, 10 objects, okay? Now it may seem too difficult out the materials out of which some of these objects are made of. Then what you can do, you have listed all the things, right? Here it is given plate, pen, you can write blackboard, you can write notebook, right? You can write table, chair. So you have to write from which these materials are made up of. If you are writing chair, it is made of plastic or wood. So you can write both, right? Then blackboard, it is of cardboard, right? So in this way, you can write the objects and the materials they are made up of. Now activity 2, what you have to do? You have to make a list of materials as it is given, right? Wood, paper, leather, plastic, cotton, iron, you can write that also. Now classify this. Suppose you have written here plate, then it can be of glass, it can be of plastic, it can be of steel. So you can write in the column of plastic also, you can write it in the column of steel also, you can write it in the column of glass also, right? Now you will get that from wood this much things are made, or vice versa, that this much things are made from paper, you can say. So this is another group which you will get after doing this classification. First we grouped objects in many different ways. We then found that the objects around us are made up of different materials. At times an object is made up of single material or more than one material. And then again, one material could be used for making many different things. You can see that chair, it can come in wood also, it can come in plastic also. It means chair can be made from more than one material. Now if you see wood, then from wood, not only chair, but many other materials are prepared. So this is two-way classification which we can say from the table 4.2 which we have prepared. What decides which material should be used for making any given objects? It seems that we need to know more about different materials. So, materials are made up of many different things. They have different look, different color, different shape, different use, right? We will learn more about the properties of materials. The properties of materials. Have you ever wondered why a tumbler is not made with a piece of cloth? Can you tell me what will happen if a tumbler is made up of a piece of cloth. What is the use of tumbler? It is used to carry water, right? Now if it is made up of cloth, then what will happen? The water will drain out, right? Similarly, our pressure cooker, घर में जो कुकर होता है ना, मम्मी यूज करती है ना किचन में, if it is made up of plastic, then what will happen? पिघल जाएगा, गैस पे रखते हैं, है ना? So these are the different reasons why different materials are used in different things. In chapter 3 we have seen that why this cloth is not used in making a tumbler. We generally use a tumbler to keep a liquid, and if a cloth is used, then it can't store liquid. So what we need, either we need glass or a plastic or metal or any such material which can hold water. Similarly, it will not be wise to use paper-like materials for cooking vessels, right? Just I said that if a cooker is made up of plastic, then if it is made up of paper, then it can't work. So the materials used to make things, they are based on their uses. So we can see that what are all the properties of materials that would be important for their uses, and we will discuss such properties such as appearance, their hardness, either they are soluble or insoluble in water. These are all different properties which we will learn. The homework is you have to read these properties once, and then we will continue in the next video. Thank you.